3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Valley Road. All good? Yeah. Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, hello. Welcome to Valley Road. Welcome to Valley Road, hello, hello. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Whilst I was inside, we had the easy way to next thing. Got to get to the other side, girls. Those days are really great. Well, again, last week, I think today's looking too bad. I had been told that the
clash between the Devonport City Strikers and Glenorchy Knights. Your two teams for today's game, starting with the visiting Glenorchy Knights, number 1, Casey Bumford, number 3, Bronte Gadon, number 4, Sarah Bologna, number 5, Summer Neal, number 7, Graciela Baez, number 9, Ebony Pitt, number 10, Madison Lennox, number 11,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what promises to be a thrilling chapter in the 2025 NPL Tasmania season. This round 17 fixture between the first place Devonport Strikers and the 5th place Glenorchy Knights. We're live from Valley Road with the Gordon Rimmer stand in the backdrop here. The undefeated Devonport Strikers set to clash with the ever dangerous Glenorchy Knights. And if you like your football with a dash of drama, a sprinkle of Shakespeare, you've come to the right place. The Strikers have been, they've been piercing through the league like a well-aimed arrow from Odysseus' bow. Undefeated, unyielding, and undeniably dominant. They sit at the top of the table, their sails full, their course true. But today they face a side with steel in their hearts and chivalry in their veins, the Glenorchy Knights. They may be 5th on the ladder, but as any reader of Arthurian legend knows, Knights never back down from a daunting quest. They've battled through a stormy season, but with sword in hand and eyes on the prize, they'll look to storm the ramparts of the league leaders here at their home ground and strike a mighty blow in their pursuit of another championship this season. Will the Strikers continue their Homeric march towards an unbeaten season, or will Glenorchy write their own epic? Grab your metaphorical chainmail and your real snacks, because this hopefully will be no ordinary match. A battle of fire and steel, strategy and poetry. Let the games begin. We'll run you through the lineups for today for the home Devonport Strikers. Tom Ballantyne's ladies. Number 1, Michaela Mitchell. Number 2, Tully Park. 5, Georgia King. 6, Annalie Bidwell. 10, Lucy Foote. 11, Annabelle Wiley. 12, Abby White. 14, Asuka Doy. 17, Whitney Knight. 21, Grace Sims. And 25, Holly Emmett. On the bench, number 3, Emily Voucher. 4, Isabella Taylor. 5, Madeline Payne. 20, Maya Smith. 24, Gemma Matthews. For the Glenorchy Knights, in goals, number 1, Casey Bumford. 3, Bronte Gaden. 4, Sarah Bologna. 5, Summer Neal. 7, Graciela Baez. 9, Ebony Pitt. 10, Madison Lennox. 11, Ava Wiley. 12, Alia Browning. 18, Eve Swan. 20, Jessica Shreve. And on the bench, number 2, Charlotte Butler. 6, Emma Christie. 8, Sarah McLeod. And 22, Monique Pinkovitz. We are moments away from getting started here. All eyes on the official as we look to get 90 minutes underway. These two sides have met twice already this season. In round 10, the Devonport Strikers emerged victorious, 6-1 victors. Long ball forward, cleared away by Bumford. Shreve in the midfield. Pocket picked by Doy. Ball ends up with Gaden. Plays it up the wing towards Lennox. Batters with Emmett. Emmett puts the ball out of play. Glenorchy takes some positional advantage here early. 6-1 the score in round 10 when these two met in Hobart. Doy had 3 on that day. Mia Smith scored and Annalie Bidwell had 2 to her name. For Glenorchy Knights, Bronte Gaden scored on that day. Earlier in the season, in round 3, the Devonport Strikers here at Valley Road were 5-0 victors. Gaden, the goal scorer against Devonport. Now on the ball, Abby White, midfield opposition on her. Ball pulled up by Browning, looking for an option. Comes out wider towards Glenorchy. Wiley. She has a chance to shoot from the edge of the box. Decides to turn. Foot ricochets an attempted ball forward off Swan and out of play. The Devonport Wiley with the throw in into Foot. Will come back to Bidwell. A brace last time these two met. Comes back into Foot. Into Park, who finds Askadoy. To Wiley. And then up the line to Foot, who's continued her run. Nice football from the Devonport Strikers as they make their way up the field. Foot takes on Bays. A delicate little chip in towards Knight. Bumford equal to it. Out to collect. So in round 3, when these two met, the scorers for Devonport in that 5-0 victory. Doy with 2, so she's had 5 in the 2 games against Glenorchy so far. Knight, Foot, and Mia Smith again on the score sheet on that particular day. Slightly cool early afternoon here in Devonport. A slight breeze, nothing that's going to shift the tide of battle in anyone's favour, however. Kayla Mitchell on the ball for the Devonport Strikers. Long. Bologna deals with that one, heads away. Bays. Foot looking for options back. Nothing doing and plays blind up the line. Knight read the pass well and got in front of Bologna. She gets into the box, fires to the back post and forces a great save there from Bumford. I'm not sure whether it came off the Glenorchy Knights defender or whether it came off Grace Sims, who was arriving at the back post, but a wonderful ball curling towards the back post from Knight. Just one of those you love to feast on as a forward. And it drew a class save from Bumford, who had to athletically palm the ball over the bar, and the Devonport Strikers will have an early corner here. Georgia King, the Devonport Strikers captain and centre back, to take this one. Into the box. Fisted away, headed by White, cleared away, not quite falls to Doy, who volleys, forcing another save from Bumford, and then Shreve just has to agriculturally hook that one away. And the Glenorchy Knights live to fight another day here early. Bumford being called into action early by this fearsome Devonport Strikers attack. Speaking of fearsome, Whitney Knight, last season's Golden Boot winner here in the Women's Super League, crosses to the near post, cleared away again. Out to Bidwell, who's well forward from her centre-back position. She looks to come to Park and it's cleared away. It's all Devonport here, though. Emmett and Wiley, the 2 fullbacks back for Devonport. The 2 centre-backs have moved forward. A longer ball from Mitchell up to Foot, who has Wiley for company. Foot then to King. King looking to get into the box towards Doy. Ricochet down. Shreve clears. And Lennox well outnumbered there for Glenorchy. Wiley. Given away by Bidwell Bays. And Glenorchy will look to reset through Shreve, who has Pitt as her partner in the centre of defence today after Broadbent was sent off last week against South Hobart in a 4-1 loss there. Devonport Strikers last week 1-0 victors. Whitney Knight the scorer against Kingborough Lions. Longer throw forward, a chance to drive down the wing. A sliding tackle from Wiley does enough. A great recover from Swan, who gets a chance to shoot a goal. An early opportunity there for Glenorchy. Very difficult from that angle to trouble a keeper of the quality of Michaela Mitchell, though. But Swan did well by passing 2 Devonport defenders to earn that striker goal. Doy, wonderful skill. Pass errant. Doy gets it back. And Neal clears that one in the direction of Lennox, who won't get to it. Devonport Strikers throw in with Holly Emmett. Neal bounces that one off Sims, who can drive forward. Chance to deliver or even cut in and have a shot. She'll have a shot. And the keeper once more. Bumford has made another excellent save from Sims, who really drove into the box unchallenged. Had the chance to pick a spot, but a quickly advancing Bumford made a terrific save. Devonport Strikers somehow not on the score sheet here. Bumford the hero so far. Knight once more. Now she drives into the box. Looks to pick out Sims. The penalty spot, it does come to Sims eventually, then down to White. And they'll raffle it off here. Goal kick or a corner. It's a goal kick. Bologna then. Away. Eve Swan once again up the wing here. Wiley tracking back. She's got 2 to beat here, Swan. And a deflection. Will it land nicely? It does come to Gayden, who can pull the trigger on the left. And now she does, and it's well wide. Doesn't get hold of that one, Gayden. With a chaos ball there, as Swan looked to put it into the box at a high deflection. Fell eventually to Gayden, whose weaker left foot didn't produce a shot to challenge Mitchell, and the Devonport goal. King looking out wide to Emmett, and Glenorchy having some forays forward here early, putting some pressure on Devonport. So somehow Devonport not on the score sheet early after some good chances and some tremendous saves from Bumford. Now Foot, all the players in 1/3 of the pitch there nearly. Swan manages to keep it in. Goes round Wiley. The top of the box. Abby White back for Devonport. Solid in midfield, White. Bays away. Down to Swan. Wiley toes it towards Foot, not in the same wavelength. Glenorchy's Wiley. And then White steps in. Looks to find a pocket of space for Knight to run onto the ball. Pitt back for Knights. Gets the pass to Wiley. And finds Swan just past her. Bidwell bounces her pass forward off Swan. To Wiley then. Once more up the line. Bologna does the business, just puts it out of play, gives the defence a chance to reset. Throwing then to Foot. Loses out to Wiley. Wiley gives it away to Devonport's Wiley. Bidwell. Bologna toes away. We'll get to it first. And then hacks that one in the direction of Lennox. Doy though. Off Emmett, and the Glenorchy throw. Summernear will wander over and take that one. Doy. He touches. Places through to Sims. This could be dangerous for the Devonport strikers. Sims once more into the box. Can she find the pass this time? No, she can't. And Pitt puts it behind another corner for the Devonport strikers. The Devonport strikers clear 6 points at the top of the table from their closest rivals, South Hobart. A 3-3 draw with South Hobart a couple of weeks ago. A terrific game. Glenorchy Knights sit some 19 points adrift of Devonport in 5th place. Looking to create an upset today, and King perhaps losing her balance, scuffing that one horribly. And the attackers don't get a chance to launch at that one. It'll be a goal kick for the Glenorchy Knights instead. And that comes straight to Foot, who looks to find Knight. Pitt does well to defend there though. And then that one will be off Lucy Foot. Devonport strikers best and fairest last season. Instructions for the Devonport midfield from Tom Ballantyne. about creating overloads. Bologna. Foot intercepts. Tries to round Wiley. Wiley sticks the foot in. Doy. As I mentioned earlier, 5 goals from the 2 games against Glenorchy Knight so far this season, and Doy once more in a dangerous position. Knight peels off, can't get it to her. Pitt once more intercepting. Some great last-ditch defending from Pitt here. Great pass from Bidwell. Sharp finds Doy, who gets around Bologna, fires a goal. Doy, another save from Bumford, not the hardest one she'll have to make today. Whilst accuracy was not bad from Doy, the power was insufficient on that occasion. Bump it up to the halfway line. This one favours Wyatt. The taller definitely has a foot there on Gaydon in the midfield. Now Knight heads down to foot. Outnumbered, Wiley, chance to take Glenorchy forward. No one came to feet there, and she really had no option, and eventually works out for her. Bays, longer. King. Sims. Nice first time pass to Doy. Doy's first time pass couldn't get through to Knight. Abby Wyatt. Curled ball in the direction of Knight. Doy steps in. Will this one come to her? It won't. Pitt once more gives it away to Knight, who can strike and does. The strikers strike again, and like lightning from Olympus, they've found the back of the net. And the undefeated run continues to look less like a fairy tale, but like an epic pen by the footballing gods themselves. A clinical strike, carved with the precision of a surgeon there from Knight, the volley. The Knights may have armour, but that was an arrow straight through the chink there, and it's 1-0 to the league leaders. The mountain just got a little steeper for Glenorchy. Neil then. Bidwell. So the Devonport strikers finally break through on Bumford's goal after Bumford made a handful of great saves. Doy in the direction of Sims. Can't trap that. Glenorchy Knights throw. Doy picks it up in midfield, dangerous in here. Gets it to the feet of Knight. Attempted ball from Knight into foot. Cleared away. Doy once more. Waiting for an option, and in the end, to wait too long. Wiley, foot. Bologna into challenge foot. Strong contest from the two ladies. Stepping in, Holly Emmett. Driving ball through to Knight. That's a great pass from Emmett to Knight. Bumford out well. What a save from Bumford. Might look simple as she got to make that stop, but the timing to race out and close down there was excellent from the Glenorchy Knights shot stopper. Sims intercepts. Driving into the heart of midfield. Lennox then. Hopeful than deliberate from Lennox. Not sure where that pass was intended. King looking longer for Doy, who traps with consummate ease. To Sims. Has Neil one-on-one. Chops inside. It's done that a few times. Looks to get the ball to Doy's run. Now Lennox with Emmett in her back. Lennox does well to shield the ball. Coughs it up to Sims though. Knight. Bologna. And at the moment Glenorchy struggling to make a threat as when they do win the back, struggling to get the ball through their midfield and then forward. Most of their forays forward thus far have come down the wing with Swan. She hasn't seen the ball in a little while. So 15 minutes or so played here. Valley Road, the Gordon Rimmer stand in the background. Great new stand, new facility for the Devonport Strikers club. Lennox forced to just volley that one back in the pitch to keep it in. Mitchell will gather gratefully. Rolling out to the skipper and King. Bidwell to Foot, first time to Wiley, makes a run down the wing. Wiley couldn't quite get it under to then be able to play it up the line towards Foot. The throw forward from Wiley then. And the Glenorchy Knights cough it up. That left back position. More instructions from Tom Ballantyne on the sideline about creating overloads. Defender stepping into midfield. Or wingers tucking in. The Devonport Strikers have an extraordinary goal difference this season. 53, and it could be more there. It looked nearly like it was going to fall to Doy to strike a goal, but towed away at the last moment. It'll be a corner for the Devonport Strikers. Their goal difference of 53. They have 63 goals for, the best offence in the league, and 10 goals against, the best defence in the league. Goal difference of 53. South Hobart in second place evidently have the next best goal difference. They have 48 goals for, 15 against. Glenorchy, on the other hand, have 25 goals for, 34 against for a -9 goal difference. Abby White rises highest but heads over. She did well to get herself into position, read the ball, read the flight well, but just couldn't get the jump right or the timing right to get power down to keep it under the crossbar. Bumford not required that time to keep the Devonport Strikers out. Park. Wiley, then back to Foot. Back to Wiley. They've worked it out well, the Devonport Strikers. To Doy. Lovely football. Doy, not finding an option, decides to take it and then drive it across. Cleared away by Shreve. All hands on deck for Glenorchy defensively here. And a lovely run from Doy. Well picked out by Foot to the front post. And then it looked like Sim was going to score. A beautiful piece of play from the Devonport Strikers. But Bumford once more. The last line of defence for Glenorchy, keeping the Devonport Strikers from extending their lead. King to assist her Foot, but not finding her on that occasion. King once more. White will use Emmett wider. They'll have a bit of time to get her head up and pick a pass. Lennox tracking back now, forcing Emmett to come back, and the Devonport Strikers will reset. And not the same wavelength there, White and King. And now Glenorchy Knights to counter-attack. An option for Swan to the left. Needed to give a yell to Browning because Swan was all on her own. I don't think Browning could decide what she wanted to do, and in the end, a heavy touch forward turned over that opportunity for Glenorchy, but if she'd had a call, lifted her vision, Swan was on to the left and could have taken a touch and had a strike at goal. Swan now, though, driving into the box. Wiley bigger and stronger, though. Bidwell. And turning it over there. Strike from Wiley. Skips off the surface, caught by Mitchell. Mitchell longer. Knight doesn't want to jump for that one. Shreve heads away. Shreve then looks to has moved back into the back four. Pitt's gone into the midfield three. Made a change here as Glenorchy try to work out what they can do to try and turn the tide here. All the way back to Bumford from Wiley. Nearly getting caught on it there. Getting it to Bologna, He does give it away to Doy. Now Sims. Sims and Gaiden in hard there. Great football from the girls. Then Emmett. And Shreve just clearing the decks. It is all Devonport strikers at the moment. Sims is going to come back to King. Switch on for Wiley. Won't go direct, but now Bidwell's going to have to be forced to stay on the same side of the pitch. Gets it to Emmett. Sims makes the run. Deflects to her. Bounces into midfield and Pitton will fight for it. Emmett. A delicate little touch from Knight. Finds Ford, who does strike from range. Bumford happy to see that one wide of her right upright. So as we tick towards the conclusion of this season, a victory very important for the Devonport Strikers here. It's definitely their title to lose at this stage, with 4 more rounds to play after this game and a catch-up game from a washed-out game against Riverside Olympic a few weeks back. But it looks likely the Devonport Strikers will be this year's WSL champions again, repeating the dose after last season. And having won 2 statewide cups in a row as well, the women, they are flying high. Given away tonight. Flicking in the direction of Sims. Can she pick a spot this time? And Bumford once more called, challenged, and answers. And lifting the right palm and flicking that one over the crossbar. A difficult one for Sims on the volley. Directed it directly at Bumford in goals, but still the athletic save required. King wanders over another corner for the Devonport Strikers as they continue to heap pressure on this Glenorchy Knights defence. Short corner, Bidwell. Back to King, changing the angle into the box. Shreve to Knight. Knight trying to beat 2, couldn't do so. A flick from Lennox. Won't come to Browning. And this is going to deflect in the path of Lennox, who does have a chance here to equal the scores while he does get back once more to her left. That was always going to be difficult to get it to there at that stage with Swan. And if Glenorchy Knights are going to challenge the undefeated Devonport Strikers here today, take points or eventually to potentially defeat them, they're going to have to make the most of those moments. And they've had 2 moments like that thus far and haven't made the most of it. And will they be punished at the opposite end of the pitch from one end to the other here? It's Doy to the top of the 6-yard box, cleared away, handball. Play allowed to go on. Gaiden towards Lennox, who was on her heels then as the ball was played forward. Gaiden wins it back. Has to come all the way back to Neil. Pitt gets it to Lennox. Bidwell, a nice touch from Knight to Doy. Those two like to play close to each other. A sliding tackle there, and both players gingerly get up. Both slow to get up, Gaiden and Doy, but they are up, and Lennox is down on the far side of the pitch as well. And I imagine play will be halted here, or the ball goes out of play. Devonport not stopping play. It's going to come to Doy, who can shoot a goal. Steps over it. Still play goes on. Still Lennox stays on the ground. Doy skips around Shreve into the box, punched away, and I imagine Neil will just put this out of play, but foot's first to it. King. Still they play the Devonport Strikers. Lennox down, back to Knight. No obligation, of course, for Devonport to put the ball out of play. And now they roll it out towards out of play, and the referee blows his whistle. Lennox will get some attention. And maybe an early substitution needed here for the Glenorchy Knights. So despite Devonport's relative dominance here in this first 25 or so minutes, Score does remain at 1-0, and Glenorchy Knights have had their moments. And as I've said, they will need to take those if they want to take anything away from their 3-hour trip to the northwest coast. Players have a chance to take some fluids on board, get some instructions from their coaches. Ravizza Bologna for the Glenorchy Knights and Tom Ballantyne for the Devonport Strikers. Looking a little ginger. And looks to be walking off around the pitch, looking like going towards the change room, so Glenorchy will have to make a substitution. On the bench with them, Butler, Christie and McLeod, the options. It doesn't look as if Glenorchy have made a substitution for Lennox here at the moment. They're going to play with 10. Foot. Looks to cut back. That might have come off Foot last of all, but no, it's gone. It's corner. Last touch deemed to have come off Wiley. And another corner for the Devonport Strikers. Some vuvuzelas ringing somewhere around the back pitch there, perhaps for the under-21s NPL game going on concurrently. Once again, a chance to draw breath. Then King delivers. This one better towards the back post. White once again. Too tall and reads it too well, but doesn't get the direction on the header that she would have liked. Perhaps another chance for the Devonport Strikers to go further ahead here squandered. That they have one goal to their name is due to just not quite finding that finish at the right moment so far, and some excellent keeping from Bumford in goals for the Glenorchy Knights as Lennox has made her way all the way around the pitch. Taking a breath. Still they go on with 10. Glenorchy. Looks like she's going to resume play here down by the touchline as Wiley drives into the midfield. Ball bounces off Bays, but fortunately for the Strikers to the feet of Foot. Nice pass up the line to Wiley, who gets her head up. Looks to pick a spot near post. Shreve desperately clears to Park. Down to Foot. No, Bays clears away. Bidwell reads that one best, heads into the path of Emmett, who is challenged by Lennox, now having re-entered the pitch, deemed fit to continue here in this first half. Half an hour gone in this round 17 WSL Tasmania fixture. The first placed Devonport Strikers and the fifth placed Glenorchy Knights. Knight drives inboard. Now with Sims. Emmett there on the overlap. Emmett can now drive into the box and does so past Neal. Will she shoot? Looks like she was shooting. Taking some finish from the narrow angle. But once more the Devonport Strikers earn a corner. And once more Georgia King will stride forward. And once more you could anticipate Abby White being the target. At the top of that 6-yard box for this corner. She's given them 2 warnings so far, heading to over the bar. It's the 3rd time a charm here for her and the Devonport Strikers to double the lead. This one comes to the near post, flicked over the back post, and it will roll out of play. White to foot to Doy. Doy strays offside. And Glenorchy now look try and build their way out of the back here. And just no options for Wiley here. She's just going to have to go long up the line. And that's what she does. And there's no one there for Glenorchy. White heads down, then Doy. The pass was on. It was a good run from Knight, but Doy just not quite getting it into the gap and into the path of White as he made the run forward. Good feet from Gaydon. Wiley back to Gaydon, challenged by Park. Into Bays. Doy getting a toe in. Foot, great pressure from the Devonport Strikers. Glenorchy trying to remain patient as they build up out of the back there, but finding it difficult to get it through that midfield. Free kick to the Glenorchy Knights. Chance here for Glenorchy to get the ball forward. Rolled to Bologna. Nice ball into the feet there of Swan, who has a chance to turn, and extraordinarily ambitious there from Swan. Swan, 3 goals to her name this season. Broadbent not on the pitch today, red card last week, has 4 goals for Glenorchy, the leading goal scorer this season for them. Long ball then into the box, cleared away. Park. Now White. Looks to roll the ball towards foot, and a little too casual from White on that occasion, and White thumps in her standard fashion. Does not hold back from the physicality, White. It's part of what separates her in that midfield from a lot of the ladies who play in there. Great ball from Emmett. Doy looking to touch it onto Sims. It does come to Sims. Can't cut past Shreve though. Emmett and Lennox heavy in on each other there, and Emmett will win the free kick for the Devonport Strikers. So prior to last week's defeat, Glenorchy to their 2nd place South Hobart, they were on a run of victories. They'd won 3 in a row. But it was always going to be a tall order today. This one comes to Sims in the 18-yard box. Foot on the overlap. But Sims slipped at the crucial moment. Wiley, errant pass there. Up towards foot. Glenorchy Knights sewing. So 3 victories for Glenorchy prior to their loss last week were victories against Taroona, Launceston United and Riverside Olympic. And that one against Launceston United, crucial. The 4-2 victory there. They trailed 2-0. Came back to win 4-2, and Lonnie United above them on the table, so an important victory for them. And the week before that, they also trailed 2-0 against Riverside Olympic, but came back to win 3-2. So they trail 1-0 here, and with that track record of coming from behind this season, you wouldn't want to rule them out, the Glenorchy Knights. Wiley. Swan getting a toe in, forcing that one out of play. Long throw. Park. Wins out over Gaydon, back to Bidwell. His first time, good balance, pass to King, instructions to turn, just what you want as a player in the midfield there. King having stepped in to create an overload in that space. Foot, good run from White. Foot plays in her path. White then. Options in the box. Knight, Sims instead cuts back to Foot, whose touch inside is a touch heavy, and that allows Gayden to step in. Rolls her pass in the path of Wiley. And Foot, athletic. Endless amounts of energy and running from Foot, who's nearly dragged down, manages to hold her feet, gets it into the box, comes to Knight, surely. Oh, and it's another tremendous save. A string of incredible saves here at Valley Road in this first half from Casey Bumford. All the time in the world Knight had there to pick her spot, and it looks like perhaps that Bumford read the eyes because the strike was hit well and it was destined for the bottom corner. But Bumford, equal to the task, diving low to her right, and a strong fist kept that one out of a Glenorchy Knights net. And once more, somehow, it is still just 1-0 to the Devonport Strikers here, and Casey Bumford, a big part of the reason that Glenorchy don't find themselves further behind here in this first half. King comes to Foot this time. Knight once more at the top of the box, fires, and another save from Bumford, low to her right once more, and a wry smile on the face of Knight. And the Devonport Strikers have certainly found Bumford in fine fettle in goals for the Knights today. Throwing the kitchen sink at her goal. And Bumford defending with her life there. King to Emmett. Emmett back to King. King then through to Knight once more. Devonport penetrate the defence. Knight's ball in. Only straight at Bumford. Bays to Gayden. Back to Wiley. Now this is where the Knights have found themselves stuck a little bit. They get in this position and then they're trying to play through and just can't quite find the pass, and once more that's the case. It's lacking some movement, some dynamism in midfield, some confidence on the ball that's going to allow them to play through and then release players like Browning and Swan. Talking of releasing, trying to release Knight there, but Shreve back. Now Uskadoy. And that pass not quite what was needed. Glenorchy in no rush. Get the ball back into play here as we tick towards the last 5 minutes here of this opening half. And Doy, wonderful feet. Gayden, who's been getting busy, gets it to Swan. Having to come deep to pick up the ball there, Swan. Back to Pitt, the referee gets in the way. And play will reset, it'll be Glenorchy Knights ball. Drop ball, Glenorchy get it underway. Wiley. To Wiley. King as a sequence of clearances, flicked ball in the direction of Knight, who does well enough. Curve ball into the path of Sims, who gets there in front of Shreve. Sims, can she find the spot? No. Once more, Bumford making a save. This one directly at her, though, not really challenging the shot stopper. Certainly more challenging stops she has made in this first half. But the tally of shots on target for the Devonport Strikers must be close to double figures at this stage. Foot. Wiley. Doy. Lovely flick with the outside of the right foot. Then flicks it back to Knight, who's going sideways. Chooses not to use Sims, but comes back instead. And now gets it to King. Switch. They come all the way back here from the edge of the 18. They stretch the midfield space there well now. White allowed to play it forward. Knight was running in behind and White was looking for a pass to feet. And Swan with Wiley. Swan does well. Wiley loses their feet. A good chance for Glenorchy. Nice numbers forward. Lennox and Browning there. Will Swan go alone? Comes back to Swan. White does enough. Calls from Glenorchy Knights for a foul. I don't think they'll be rewarded on that particular occasion. Foot defends well and earns a free kick. The most dangerous moments in this first half for Glenorchy Knights have largely come through the animus of Eve Swan here on this left wing. And a couple of times she found herself open on that left wing as they counter-attacked the Glenorchy Knights, and attacking compatriots haven't been able to find her, lift their vision enough to see her. On that occasion, with passing options inside, decided to go alone, and White managed to do enough to pinch it away from her. Longer than foot looks to flick off the head. Not a convincing clearance, but it will do. Swan once more. Oof, White winded by that one. That one hit right in the solar plexus. And a great chance there. Now for Gaydon. It's just not going to come for Lennox, and Bidwell will get there just in time. And a quick counter-attack from the Glenorchy Knights, and Abby White still sucking in the breaths there. As that one just hit her flush in the stomach, driving the wind out of her, and on her haunches now, getting her breath back. Tough customer, White. She'll be right to continue play. Browning, haven't had the chance to call her name too much. Bays. And they look to rotate play, switch sides there through Pitt. Now Neal does cut past Sims. Neal then. Shot from distance. Strange choice. There was options at the top of the box. Chance to put the ball in and let them attack it. Instead, chose to seemingly strike a goal from 25 yards on the angle. Bidwell to Wiley. So it comes to Browning. Nice turn, nice ball too to Swan, but Wiley read that really well. Swan keeps it in play and sticks a leg out and takes down King. Certainly not deliberate. Just desperately trying to get a play on the ball, but King certainly coming off worse the wear. Referee having a word with Wiley, who kicked the ball away as it was rolling towards her after the whistle. And another day could probably find itself in the book. Not on that occasion. As we are on the cusp of half-time break, the Devonport Strikers leading 1-0 through a goal from Whitney Knight. Also the scorer in a 1-0 victory last week against the Kingborough Lions. And really in this Women's Super League, it's a race between two at the top of the table, between Devonport and South Hobart. And then for third place, you have Kingborough and Launceston United and Glenorchy Knights fighting it out for a spot on the podium, so to speak. King, high, probably higher than it was long. Bays, Doy, lovely touch from Doy and Knight. They combined so well. Doy raised the head, didn't like the run of Sims and chose to come back. now trying to get it forward. Nice, did well to track back. And the run of Devonport chances has slowed somewhat. An odd throw in from Emmett there. White in hard into the back of Lennox and has a good long look at it, the official, and decides that White was a bit too firm into the back of Lennox there and winning that header. And what might be the last play of this first half. So we did have a long stoppage with Maddie Lennox for the Glenorchy Knights, needing some attention. So play may go on for a few minutes yet. Foot scuffs that one away, asking a bit of Knight to track that one down. Bologna there first for the Glenorchy Knights, and tries the first time pass to Wiley, which wasn't really on. Knight trying to find Park, doesn't quite get it to her. Lennox to Browning, has to work hard to get there. She's come very deep there, Browning, to get onto the ball. Into the path of Swan, who's passed to Browning, only finds Foot, but Glenorchy will have the chance to recycle possession here. Wiley, one up the line, direct, perhaps too direct. And there it is, the end of the first half here at Valley Road. So the Devonport strikers certainly with the upper hand. Whitney Knight, a volley into the bottom corner, giving the Devonport strikers the lead here in this first half. And it was Casey Bumpert in goals for Glenorchy Knights, who made a string of fantastic saves in that first half. And if not for her, the scoreline could be far more heavily in the Devonport strikers' favour. Glenorchy Knights had a few flashes of moments in that first half as they strung some counter-attacks, but none of them really came to challenging Michaela Mitchell in goal. And so it is, well, they go in with a 1-0 lead, the Devonport strikers. It is they perhaps who think they could and should be further ahead. Chance now.
What makes a big arch so good? Is it big juicy beef, crispy onion, or is it the melty cheese smothered in Big Arch sauce? It's everything. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
For this round 17 fixture between the table.
You say you love McMuffins so much, and yet you choose McCafe's delicious new blend first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What makes a big arch so good? Is it big juicy beef, crispy onion, or is it the melty cheese smothered in Big Arch sauce? It's everything. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
You say you love McMuffins so much, and yet you choose McCafe's delicious new blend first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What makes a big arch so good? Is it big juicy beef, crispy onion, or is it the melty cheese smothered in Big Arch sauce? It's everything. New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
You say you love McMuffins so much, and yet you choose McCafe's delicious new blend first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Alright, welcome back to this second half of this round 17 WSL Tasmania fixture between the Devonport Strikers and the Glenorchy Knights. Players are out on the pitch and the stage is set for what is hopefully another 45 minutes of drama, excitement, and with some luck, a few more twists in the tail. Devonport hold the advantage, and with that 1-0 lead, they've got 1 foot firmly planted in the driver's seat. We can't count out the Glenorchy Knights just yet. They'll be looking to turn the page on what's been a tough first half. Looking to summon the spirit of their finest Knights to stage a comeback. Will the Strikers continue their unbeaten march, or can the Knights rally and upset the script? It's a game of momentum, and we're just getting started. Keep your eyes on this one. It's far from over. An early chance here for the Knights. Swan driving on the left wing, skipping past Doy, having to come back to the top of the box to Browning, then to Gayden, who shoots wide of the upright. A good start for the Glenorchy Knights. Looks like both sides have made a change. Foot has come off for the Devonport Strikers, being replaced by Payne. And ball for Gayden there. Was more ball to hand than hand to ball, but it will be a free kick. Comes to Bays, who brings that one down. It's a pair tackled by Knight, comes to Sims. Sims managed to keep it in to Knight. Knight turns away. Shreve with her. Payne ducks the ball, directed towards Doy, and now Glenorchy can come the other way through Bologna, who gets it out to Swan. And a better start here for the Glenorchy Knights pit. Wiley. Bays can turn away. Opts to go to Browning and gets it back. Faster ball movement there from Knights to start this half. And Lennox in, playing it forward. So both teams making changes here. McLeod has come on for the Glenorchy Knights. Up the line. Scruffed over the line by Bidwell, but just wide of the goals, and once more the Knights survive. Bays bounces off her thighs, tries to keep it in play, can't do so. Devonport strikers throw. Emma takes it. Shreve stepping in front of Knight. Browning stepping in front of Park. Good pass from Emmett into Knight, who does get it to White. He uses her body well to shield from Browning. Toe towards Sims. Sims then a chance to turn away and run at McLeod. Opts to come in board. Triangle. Nicely played. Worked out. McLeod in. Good tackle. Wins the ball. And then thumps it up towards the line. This coach gets a touch. Emmett to White. Looks to switch play through King. King into Knight. Nice flick to White, who clips it to the back post towards Doy. A bit too heavy from White. So the table-topping Devonport Strikers lead here 1-0, and Whitney Knight, the goal scorer for the Strikers in the first half. They had a string of chances. Bumford, class-acting goals, keeping the Glenorchy Knights in the game. Knights, when they do have their chances this half, they need to make the most of them, and Lennox couldn't quite keep that one in play. Both coaches have had their chances to make tactical tweaks, positional changes and substitutions at the half-time break. And now they'll just wait to play their final cards of substitutions as time ticks away. This one, lovely use of the body from Payne on Shreve as she now drives into the box towards the back post. Cleared away by Wiley. Doy was lurking at the back post, looking to get on the score sheet. Her name absent from it today. Doy, the second leading goal scorer in the Women's Super League this year, behind Jasmine White of South Hobart, formerly of this parish here in Devonport. Jasmine, now playing for South Hobart. Laura Davis, also of South Hobart, in third place. And in fifth place, Maddie Payne, substitute for Devonport Strikers today, on 8 goals. So Devonport's leading goal scorer, Dory, 15 this season. Payne next on 8. And then equal, in fact, now with the goal today, Whitney Knight also on 8. Dory then, the leading goal scorer for the Devonport Strikers. And somehow, once more, the ball scrapping around in the 6-yard box. And the final touch just hasn't been able to be made. And terrific hands once more from Bumford. Bordering on farce or satire here that Devonport have had a number of opportunities or moments that just haven't come off for them in terms of this second goal. Park over the head of Payne. Doy. Payne. Knight to Doy. Doy does well. It's going to get this one to the box, top of the 6-yard box at the back of her head. Once more they scrap it, and finally it comes to Georgia King, who puts the final touches on the top of the 6-yard box with the outside of the right foot. The captain puts the Devonport Strikers 2 ahead, doubles the lead, and they're striking with the precision of a poet's pen there. The Knights looked stunned a little there, not being able to clear the ball. Now they're caught between the pages of a story that's slipping out of their hands. And at 2-0, the unbeaten leaders are marching like Macbeth's army. Relentless, inevitable, and casting now a long dark shadow over Glenorchy's hopes. So 2 to the good, the Devonport Strikers. Centre back and captain King netting her 6th of the season. Good return for a central defender. And the mountain to climb here for the Knights getting more significant, however, as I did recall in the first half. In the past month or so, the Glenorchy Knights have come from behind twice, once against Riverside Olympic and once against London United. Come from 2-0 down to win. Could they add the Devonport Strikers to the list of teams against whom they've made come from behind victories in recent past? And they do say 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football. Well, that proved to be the case today. Pitt gliding past the Devonport players. White fouling her play, allowed to go on. Lennox skipping past Emmett, promising for Glenorchy, but Lennox couldn't quite find her pass, and now White can pick hers. Knight, Payne making the run forward. Payne then waiting for Knight. Knight, top of the 18-yard box, and ambitiously striking, moving away from goal, having to strike across her body, and that was always going to be a difficult one to direct on target, and the end result proving that to be the case. Short to Gaydon. So Bumford's goal finally beaten for a second time. Not much the shot stopper could have done about that last one. Good from Shreve. Then up to McLeod, the substitute. White across on her. Sims does well. Now the goal scorer, King. Trying to get that one to White. Not quite. A scuffed pass from Pitt though. Tonight to Doy. Shreve read the pass well, got across and intercepted. Shreve stepping into the back line from a holding midfield position today. Pitt did start at centre back to begin the game, but that swap was made early on. That one off Wiley out of play. Glenorchy Knights throw. Devonport with a very settled starting 11. Very few changes made to that starting 11 in the past couple of months. And the results have certainly come from that. Swan driving forward, shoots, and doesn't trouble Mitchell, who's able just to palm that one down before collecting. Looking dangerous there, Swan. Probably had a chance to take another touch or two, but elected to fire early, and probably not the right choice on that occasion. Pitt out towards Swan. Another chance to run at Wiley. She's done well against Wiley today, Swan. And she is once more. Good pass out to Lennox, who's going to have to use McLeod back. McLeod has Gaydon offering short. Gaydon in a pocket of space, spinning away. It has to go longer. And Shreve trying to switch play, caught out. Payne. Just good vision, good way to pass. Finding Knight. Payne now strolling into a good position. Knight with Bays. Powerful cross from Knight. Just not quite finding attacking comrade in Sims. Pitt then gets it out towards Lennox. Fires it back towards Pitt. King reads that. Gets it out of play. He claims the Devonport throw. That one. A Glenorchy throw. Substitution. One for the Devonport Strikers and one for the Glenorchy Knights. Taylor on for the Devonport Strikers in place of Sims. And Butler on for Lennox for Glenorchy Knights. And we're still waiting. Here the official brings play back, just waiting to confirm the substitutions as they write down the numbers. Then we can get play back underway. Charlotte Butler and Isabella Taylor introduced into the game. 2-0 the score to the Devonport Strikers. What impact can those two substitutes have? Second substitute for both sides. Doy. Asking Taylor to make a run here. First involvement in the game, and Shreve across, out of play. Emmett. Payne heads down. Taylor the first touch. Trying to bring that ball coming over the top of her head under. Pass from Gaydon, releasing Browning, who can then release Swan. You've got Butler coming into the back post. Gaydon at the top of the 18. Swan pulled down. Must have got the ball there, Wiley. Cleared away by Bidwell. Swan perhaps the pick of the players for Glenorchy Knights thus far today. Certainly it's looked dangerous at times in that attacking third. Bays across. But undoubtedly Bumford has been Glenorchy's best string of saves in the first half, keeping her team in the game. Devonport's best. It's hard to look past Whitney Knight, who's been instrumental, and also on the score sheet. Speaking of Knight, here she is once more. Lovely ball in behind her. Taylor has Payne in the box. Delivers on the left foot. Flag goes up on the far side. Taylor deemed to straight offside. But it must have been close, that one. Bologna. Browning looks to flick. Comes to Bidwell, to White, to Doy. Good feed from Doy. Gets it to Emmett. He's going to have to look to switch this one to King. King can step in to Doy. Asking a bit of there with a bobbly ball. Doy couldn't keep it under her spell. And now Glenorchy, between Wiley and Bays, try to work it out. Comes to Swan. Wiley gets the better of her on that occasion. No, Swan wins out. Will this come to Payne? Swan does enough to keep the ball. And then asking Butler to make a run. Browning to Butler. Need numbers in the box here, Glenorchy. At the moment there's no one in there. And the ball goes in, and there's only Devonport shirts really at the penalty spot. Swan, having played the ball over, was not in position to get into the penalty box there. And a movement forward squandered. Headed down by McLeod. Browning getting more into the game, slips there at the critical moment. Thumps the turf with her hand. Taylor gets it to White. And Park caught in the blind side there. Swan pinches it. Browning, good run from Butler, peeling off. Browning finding Butler. Browning pulling the strings here. Butler into the box. Once more, there's just not enough Glenorchy Knights plays into the box. A couple of forays forward and balls into the box, and no one there to challenge the Devonport defenders. Knight. Heavy, that pass. Attempts to find Doy. As is a pattern in modern football, we play out short from the back. Try to play our way through the thirds. McLeod and Shreve attempt to do so. Here's a critical next pass. Can she find an option here? McLeod, more hopeful than deliberate. A very high boot from King. No whistle. To Doy, to Payne, a chance to the Strikers. Doy on the overlap. Could this be a third for the Devonport Strikers? And Oscar Doy looks set to put the Devonport Strikers ahead for her 6th goal in 3 games against Glenorchy Knights this season, and her right-footed strike past the approaching Bumford rolled harmlessly wide in the end, and Glenorchy remain at 2-0 down. A third would certainly be the death knell of this game, and the ceiling goal. Doy in heavy on Wiley, no whistle. This one clipped to Payne, has a chance to pull it down, spins tonight, and a credible save once more from Bumford. When once more Knight looked destined to nestle the ball into the back of the net, Bumford launching herself at the feet of Knight managed to keep that one at bay. Just great timing. Spread herself wide as the great Peter Schmeichel made fashionable in the goalkeeping fraternity. And she once more repels the Devonport Strikers' defence. This game remains at 2-0. It's hard to imagine Bumford not being in the votes today. A few more goals to Devonport could put pay to that, those pit exits for the Glenorchy Knights, and Christie makes her way onto the field. So Christie will slot in to the midfield triumvirate for the Glenorchy Knights. 3rd substitution. And Christie's first involvement here. Looked to come off her hand. No whistle. Emmett steps in, the other substitute there, Butler. Now Shreve. Bidwell up well. Park dragged by Bays, a grab of the shirt. King. Doy, Payne, could this be the third? Taylor, Payne, they raffle it off. They leave it for each other. Miscommunication between the two. Either Taylor or Payne could have taken the strike there as it bounced around on the edge of the 6-yard box, and they left it for each other and allowed Glenorchy Knights to clear. Knight. Cross deflected. Butler. Emmett strong. King moving well off the ball to get herself into position to support her teammate. But her direct ball forward rolls out of play. So 2-0 it remains. About the halfway mark here of this second half. Two-0 it is to the ladder leading undefeated Devonport Strikers. On the score sheet, Knight and King. Towed away there by the substitute Christie. And once more rolling forward to take this throw in. To White, whose touch goes between her legs. Browning with Emmett. Cleared away by Christie. King playing keepy ups. Christie then, Gaydon, Knight too strong. Knight in towards King, he strolled forward. Payne, a flash. And a crack, and over the bar it goes. And the ball rising on the half volley there, always going to be difficult for Payne to keep that one down. Into the feed of Gaydon. No giving up then by Bologna. Shreve well placed to dispatch of that one over the head of Swan, and the Devonport Wiley will take the throw in. Doy. Park. Swan. Wiley. Swan. She's energetic, endlessly energetic she's been. Sliding tackle from Wiley. And then Bidwell launches the ball in the other direction, asking Doy to chase. Bologna happy to see this one over the byline. Probably could have stepped over that one and seen it out of play for a goal kick, but chose the safe option and put it out of play. Wiley. First time, didn't quite get the purchase on it needed. Christie. Wiley again sliding and tackling. Busy, another good challenge there from Bidwell. White, King. Taylor. Towed away by McLeod as far as Park has Doy. Doy in space. A few options. Chooses to shoot, and it's an incredible strike from the Japanese. Doy from 30 yards. She unleashed the ripping right-footed strike that dipped over the head of the despairing Bumford. And for a moment, there was the ball poised in the air. The crowd held its breath. And then on their exhalation, it sailed into the net. And from exhalation to exhilaration, as we witness another superb piece of play from Asuka Doy here at Valley Road, her 6th against Glenorchy Knights in 2 games. And that puts the seal on what will be a Devonport Strikers victory here today. A 3-0 lead, some 20 odd minutes to play. Hard to see the Knights getting back into this one here. It would take a miracle. Stranger things have happened in football, but don't see that unfurling today. And Asuka Doy in again once more. This time the left-footed strike, the opposite foot. But it was directed at the shot stopper. Didn't need to move Bumford in goals on that occasion. So Bumford beaten for a 3rd time today. She has been a formidable last line of defence against Devonport Strikers today, but just sheer weight of opportunities telling out in the end. Doy, Payne, and the Strikers earn a 4th here. Doy out wide. King into the box at the back post. Taylor in there as well. It's going to come to Taylor. No, cleared away by Christie. Wiley tonight to Payne. Is it a 4th? No, it's not. Over the bar. So it was Knight who gave the Devonport Strikers the lead in the first half. King, who doubled the lead here in the second, and then most recently Asuka Doy with an extraordinary strike from range, making it 3. And a tackle in there from Emmett on Browning. That one stings. Browning hobbling. Christie in midfield. Chance to lift her head. Only picks out Park. Bounces off her to Gayden. He really only has Bologna back or further back to the keeper. Bologna. Back to Gayden. They've got themselves into trouble there, Glenorchy. Payne. Wiley. And Aaron Cross out of play. King. Into Park. Park playing the way she faces. That one from King intercepted to Doy. And Wiley's going to have a chance to take a touch and deliver here. One touch and deliver will be the message, and it is what happens to the penalty spot. Cleared away only as far as King. King glides past Browning. Taylor on her heels a little. Perhaps wasn't expecting King to tow it in her direction. Emmett with an acre of space. Taylor again, just on her heels, has got to come to the ball. Emmett into King, who's stepping into midfield quite a lot here this second half. Taylor. So White sitting back for King as King pushing forward. Payne cleared away. This will come to King. White. That one deflected. Christie. Been busy since she's come on. Emmett. That one's a high one. He's going to ask a lot of Knight. But Knight will get to it first. Lovely touch around Shreve. Knight and Shreve. Chops back onto her right foot, Knight. Dink into the back post. Will it come to Doy? No, it won't. Bumford alive to the danger and scampered out off a line to pick that one up. Browning to Christie. Christie seeing Wiley with a bit of time. Wiley has to track wide to pick it up, but gets there eventually. Coming to get it back, Christie. Just to go up the line to Gaydon. A chance here for the Glenorchy Knights. Can they get one back? No, it's played off the heel of Wiley. She does well to keep it alive. In the direction of Swan. Payne shielding the ball well. Gets it to Knight. Good bit of play. Taylor makes a run forward. Knight trying to flick it to her. Numbers win out for Glenorchy there. Swan nips in front of Wiley. King in. Browning. Good pass out to Butler. Butler then with Emmett. And she get to the byline and get a delivery in. Emmett does well for the Devonport Strikers. Clears up the line. Only McLeod there. Touches around. Taylor. Taylor then in with Christie. Christie has Shreve back. Shreve does well. Bays back to Shreve. And Glenorchy lifting intensity just a little bit here. Might be too little too late though, but this is good from Glenorchy. Bays. Christie. It's been good since coming on as a substitute. Bays then. Butler is wide and that's where it comes. Emmett. McLeod stepping in. White. Park. Doy. Space for the Devonport Strikers to attack in here then. It's Payne trying to get it to Knight. Not quite there. Off the head of Wiley. Park will jump with Christie. They look like they bounced heads off each other there. Not the case. Both okay. Browning. Once more firing the ball out to Butler. Butler back in board to Bays. Glenorchy keeping the ball well here. Spreading the pitch. And just put the mockers on them there. Coughing up that one. McLeod. King to Doy. Surely here. Payne's there. Doy doesn't finally uses Payne, but the pass a little heavy. And Bumford always looked likely to get there first once the ball was released by Doy. And the Knights let off there. Gaydon. White in well. Now Payne. Payne and Knight and Doy. From range, Payne. And not the first ambitious strike we've seen today. Most of them have been ineffective. Bar, of course, the strike from Doy, which gave Devonport Strikers a 3-0 lead. A thumping right-footed effort. That will certainly feature in the highlight reels. There's two substitutions here for Devonport Strikers. Park and Wiley make their way off. And end. Will be Vorcha and Matthews onto the pitch. Butler. White. First involvement for Matthews. Watch it as well. Nice. Taylor with Shreve. Taylor does well. Gets past Shreve. There's a chance for Taylor. Toes it out towards Payne. It will come to her. Won't quite sit and enables Gaden to get back and help her defence clear the ball away. It's going to roll out for a corner for the Devonport Strikers. King will stroll forward to take this one. Inside the last 15 minutes here at Valley Road. 3-0 it is to the Devonport Strikers. The result perhaps concluded the scoreline, perhaps not. Is there a consolation goal for Glenorchy, or is there a further joy for the Devonport Strikers? 5-1 and 6-0 for scorelines between these two teams in the first two games. Both in favour of Devonport. Is there another couple for Devonport to match those earlier scorelines, or will it remain at just the 3? White! And the third or fourth time there that White has had a chance for a header in the box, and perhaps no better chance unmarked on that occasion, and just couldn't direct the header goalward across the face of goal. White flicks it over herself, toes it down to Taylor, who gets it back. It's going to come back to Knight. Looks to get it past Bumford, nearly towed away by Taylor, but Bumford once more. Having an excellent game. Bumford, despite the 3-0 scoreline. She has been superb. There's not really much you could ask of her for the 3 goals that were scored. Bidwell thumps that into the feet of Knight, challenges her to bring that under control, and she does, and Butler has a chance maybe to take 2 touches and strike. Goes wide instead and chooses to deliver, when really the option was probably to drive a goal and take on the strike. Mitchell. King will play short to Mitchell. Mitchell probably short to Bidwell. No, he goes longer. Up in the direction of Doy, who heads down past Payne. Shreve. Stepping into midfield, ball towards Christie or Swan. Emmett pinches that one away, and Doy looking for the run of Taylor. Really puts some pressure there on McLeod and forces her to put it out for throwing. And Whitney Knight to be withdrawn here as the Devonport Strikers make another substitution. Their final substitution, their 5th member of the bench to get some action today. So it will be Mia Smith making the way onto the pitch. And Mia Smith has actually scored in both games against Glenorchy for the Devonport Strikers this season. Could she make it a hat-trick of goals in 3 games? Cut out by Butler. Matthews to take the throw-in. All the way back to King. It's a touch and can then deliver to Payne. Does so. Payne reads it beautifully. Stumbles and fires. It is 4 for the Devonport Strikers. A 9th for the season. for Payne. And they have struck again, and it's looking a little like a procession now. They've come out like titans today, the Devonport Strikers, and Glenorchy have simply had no answer. They've been dismantled with clinical precision. Each goal a chapter in a book. They're destined to win. And the Knights have found themselves second best today. 4-0. The book of this game's all but closed. And the coronation on the horizon for the Devonport Strikers. They've been untouchable today as they have been all season. The longer ball from King read perfectly by Payne, who brought it down. Had to wait for the moment to strike, but when she did, she picked her spot best, and Bumford, who has been very good in goals today, unable to stop that one. This goal spins. Swan throws an arm at it. It looked like a handball, no whistle, and it puts it out of play. Christie does well to drive through, gets it to Gaden, White in with her. White pinches, and there wasn't many forward for Devonport there. Shreve. Some space opening up here on the wing, but the ball out from the back from Bumford. Joy to Payne. Payne, a lovely turn. A second turn, rolls in the direction of Matthews. Wiley was back though. Voucher. Calm under pressure there. Gets it back to Matthews. Taylor up the line. Voucher back inside. King. They're going to have to switch play. King then to Voucher. That one touch a little heavy. Turns away from Browning, who put enough pressure on her to win the ball. Ticking into the final bits of action here. Handball, I think the arm was against the body there, so play allowed to go on. White to Emmett. Towed away by Gaden. Emmett and Wiley both in strong there. White. Wiley. Puts that one onto the roof of the old club rooms to the Devonport Strikers, and over the roof. They're going to have to retrieve different ball. Set the match managers a target to go and find it. Bidwell, King, stretching the pitch. The Strikers looking to play their way out. King, no options. Comes shorter to White. He does well. Gets it to Emmett. Now can play forward. Oh, jeez, Swan. Tracking back. I'm not sure if she got the player or the ball, but either way, it will still be Devonport Strikers' ball. It is a throw-in, so must have got the ball. Throw-in to Payne. Bounces off her knee and out of play and down the tunnel. Final moments of what really has been another show. Another Devonport Strikers flex of the muscle in what has been an imperious season for them. 4 different goal scorers, a testament to the options they have in attack. Payne, the substitute, holding the ball in the corner. No need to run down the clock, but perhaps just trying to earn a corner, and it does the trick. We'll have another corner here. King to take. White finally be able to direct one of her headers goalward, goal bound. She has been a real aerial threat. King stands over this. delivers. It's short this time. Off Bidwell to top of the box. And Brownlee skips past Voucher. She's got 60 yards to travel. And Bidwell has travelled the first 20 of those with her and slows down the Glenorchy Knights attack. Wiley. Then inboard to Christie. Square ball. Dangerous. Gets away with it. To Bays. Will come to Doy. He scoops it towards Payne. Butler. Taylor putting her under pressure. Christie under pressure from Doy. Christie then to Bologna. Smith chasing after her. Smith can't quite win that one as Glenorchy hold on to the ball. But Smith wins it now from Bologna. It's 3 on 3 or 4 at the back here into Payne. She goes down in the box under the challenge. Now, controversial choice perhaps there from the official. Payne definitely had the touch around the defender, went down under the challenge perhaps. No whistle because the ball was headed toward the keeper. But there was definitely contact. If that's in the middle of the ground, is that a foul? Perhaps so. The Knights survive a scary call there that could have made it all but 5 for them. There's McLeod and Taylor battle for it. Out of play from McLeod. Time ticking away in this one. Final few minutes here at Valley Road in what has been a comprehensive performance. The Devonport Strikers. Payne, will she be at the double? Yes, she is. Went down in the box a moment ago. But this time, Payne was able to finish the job. A 5th for the Strikers, a 2nd for Payne off the bench, her 10th for the season. An interesting choice of celebration there with Payne, the goal scorer, cleaning the boots of Doy. Usually it is the goal scorer who gets the boots cleaned in a celebration. And the Devonport Strikers do make it 5. A mirror image of their 5-0 victory at this very venue in round 3. Strikers, can they make it a half dozen? Can Glenorchy get a consolation goal? They come forward. Payne, could it be a second half hat-trick for the substitute Payne? Came on at half time. Ball into the box from Wiley to Doy. There's a toe in front of Shreve. Directs it goalward, but was never going to trouble Bumford in goals. Butler has to go back. McLeod uses Shreve. No, all the way back to Bumford. Pressure from Payne. Has to go long. Gets to Browning. Bidwell gets it towards Payne, this time to Doy. Is there a hat-trick on the offing for Payne? Doy chooses to go to Taylor instead when perhaps Payne was the better option and she would have had a chance at a hat-trick. Final moments. Can Devonport add to their tally today? Slowing the game right down here, King, as we move towards the final moments. King stands over the ball. Short corner. King misses Payne. And really a waste. And there is the final whistle. It's all over. Devonport Strikers have done what they do best. They've just delivered a masterclass in football here today. 5-0 victory They will go down along with their other dominant performances this season. From the opening whistle, the Strikers were in full control, dictating the tempo, dictating the play. And when the goals came, there was a touch of brilliance to some of them. Great display of teamwork and confidence. Saw them run over a Glenorchy side that didn't have any answers today. Glenorchy will be disappointed with how things unfolded, but they have to give credit where it's due. Devonport were ruthless, clinical and relentless. And they're not just winning, Devonport, they're sending a message to the rest of the league that they are the force to be reckoned with. So another 3 points, another commanding performance, another step closer to their championship at the end of the season. And as for the Knights, they'll need to regroup, reflect and come back stronger. Today belongs to Devonport, a 5-0 victory and an emphatic one. Goal scorers today in the first half. Whitney Knight gave Devonport Strikers the lead, 1-0. It remained at half-time. In the second half, there were goals added. 4 of them. 2 from Payne. 1 incredible strike from Joy. And Georgia King also on the score sheet for the Devonport Strikers. A 5-0 victory this round 17. WSL Tasmania fixture. Devonport Strikers victorious. I've been Camille Douglas. Thanks for tuning into Football Tasmania TV today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll see you next time at Valley Road.